Page 4. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye Joda Zoge Chonam La Chanju Pardo Dane Gyalso Che Dage Jinso Kebe Chonam Gi Dola Penjere Sanye Drubara Isho Sanje Joda Zoge Chonam La Chanju Pardo Dane Gyalso Che Dage Jinso Kebe Chonam Gi Dola Penjere Sanje Drubara Isho Sanje Chanju Pardo Dane Gyalso Che Dage Jinso Kebe Chonam Gi Dola Penjere Sanje Drubara Isho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirota Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Het Gato Hyavadat Niyada Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay, now today we will do a very brief teaching on the wheel of life, also referred to as which consists of the teaching on 12 links of dependent origination. And if you turn to page 328, what I have is on page 328. Joshua, which page is it? 328. Okay, page 328. This is a painting. And I'd like to quickly share with you the background information of this, the painting, how this painting came into being. This painting was at if you go to different monasteries, for example, like particularly the olden monasteries, you will see that this painting is depicted at the facade on the walls, and particularly the entrance wall. You'll see that. And how many have seen such paintings on the facade of the walls of the monasteries? Good. And the why there on the facade of the entrance of this all will come as a part of this, how this painting evolved. It was the time of the Buddha that there was one particular king who, I don't know how many of you are familiar with. There's a king by the name King Bimbisara, and who was an ardent follower of the Buddha Shakyamuni, a great disciple of the Buddha Shakyamuni. And one point, the King Bimbisara, and there was another king, King Udriyana. And the other king happened to be more a bigger emperor or bigger king with a bigger empire. And King Bimbisara's empire is a little smaller. And the other king sent a gift to King Bimbisara, very expensive gift of armor. are made of the gemstones. And initially he was very happy. King Bimbisara very happy, and soon that it was the tradition that you get a gift and you repay something. And then the King Bimbisara, since that he's a smaller king, he did not have something as good as this to be given back. So he was a little sad, and this was what the Buddha said. He reported this to the Buddha, and the Buddha said, "Don't worry. You do one thing. You send one of the best artists, and send him to me." So the King Bimbisara sent an artist to the Buddha, and the Buddha commissioned this artist to paint this. All these descriptions were given by the Buddha himself. And once the painting was done, then the Buddha instructed King Bimbisara, now you do one thing, you offer this painting to King Udayana. And yes, of course, for King Bimbisara, anything from the Buddha is so precious. But King Udayana, he had no idea about the Buddha. So what King Udayana did, what King Bimbisara did was that, of course, he sent a message to King Udayana saying that you bring your army, cavalries, all these on the battlefield. There's a field where the battles were fought on the battlefield. This was a message sent to King Udayana, and King Udayana was just hearing this, he was shocked. He sent a present, and now he's asking me to come to the battlefield to fight. And the King Bimbisara didn't say fight, just say come there with your cavalries and all. And King Udayana was really upset. He was really becoming rage. And he had a very smart prince, and what is that? Minister. And minister advised the king, so Your Highness, you don't need to become the angry. If he said, come to the field, go there. In any ways, you are more powerful, you are mightier than him. And if you wage war, fight and conquer him. And there must be some other reasons. So the king was very happy. So the king did as told by King Bimbisara. Then at the battlefield, the King Bimbisara was also bringing his cavalry, his army, everything. And King Udayana was also bringing. And then suddenly somewhere at one point, King Bimbisara stopped, and then he got off. He got off the chariot, and he was escorted by one or two ministers, and he was holding something like a scroll. That's it. And there's no indication of war. And King Udayana, he also felt relieved. He also got off from the horse, and then he also went escorted by two ministers. He went towards King Bimbisara. King Bimbisara then offered this scroll, offered something to King Udayana, and said that this is my gift for you. And then King Udayana, coming back to his palace, he was just wondering, why he asked me to bring my whole army, the cavalries. Why this gift is so important? Why this is given such the respect? Why this is so important? Then he just checked what is inside. So it was draped in extreme expensive cloths with different colors. And he said, what is inside? Finally he saw just a painting. Why this painting is given so much respect, with draped in so many expensive the colored cloths, and also that to receive it, that he was calling they asking me to bring the cavalries, armies, so why? And he just put the painting on his table. And then he was exploring what is there, and his minister, the smart minister, was also there, and he was exploring. Then he was just exploring, and he saw somebody at the top right. What do you see there? Top right, what do you see? A Buddha was there. And then he said, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Then the minister said, don't say guy. This is the fully awakened one. And then from from among the respect that this minister shows, the king felt that this must be somebody who's so special. And I said, who is he? He said, this is the Tathagata, the one who is full awakened one. And where is he? He's in King Bimbisara's the kingdom. And what is he doing? He is just sharing his wisdom and liberating beings from miseries to happiness. And then so why is then King Bimbisara's kingdom? This was his question. King Bimbisara is a great, great devotee of the Tathagata, the Buddha. And I also like to invite him. This is what the King Udayana said. And the minister said that you cannot invite him like this. You have to talk to King Bimbisara. Because King Bimbisara is a great devotee of the Tathagata Buddha. And Tathagata Buddha would be most happy that whatever King Bimbisara said, so therefore you have to contact King Bimbisara. So King Bimbisara became very important for King Udayana because of this painting. So the King Udayana, it is said that because just studying this, because he already had learned, always studied before, the Four Noble Truths, all these things, how the samsara operates, how the samsara can be undone. He already studied these, practiced to a great extent from the past life. And suddenly in this life, it's like he was born as a king and felt disconnected. And suddenly the Buddha, because of the Buddha's clairvoyance, the Buddha could see where he left his practice from the last life. So this painting was sent, and it was a connection that he's connected to what he practiced, where he left from the last life. Connected. And then in this very lifetime, he attained arhatship. Arhatship meaning he got liberation, the King Udayana. So what is this? The pin. This is the clue, and the Buddha indicated that this painting, you have to paint this painting on the facade of the building of the monasteries, and said that the Buddha also instructed that in the future, such enlightened teachers as Shariputra, these great teachers, they will not be anymore on the planet Earth. So therefore, the monks should be trained to explain this painting. A scholar monk should be appointed to explain this painting to the visitors, to the pilgrims, to the visitors, so the visitors can learn something. So this is the Buddhist instruction. So therefore, it is painted. The tradition has in all the Tibetan old monasteries, and then in Sikkim, in Bhutan, you go to the old monasteries, we see that this painting is painted there. And also that even in the new monasteries where the monastery's head is somebody who is learned and knowledgeable about all these things, they also make sure that this painting is depicted on the wall of the entrance of the monastery, so that as the Buddha instructed, that the visitors can come and they can see something. And the ideal thing is that the Buddha instructed very clearly that somebody should be appointed to explain this. Okay, so this is what we're doing here. So with this in mind, at one point, now with the contents of the painting, for this, the Buddha at one point, one morning, the Buddha was passing by a rice field, and Buddha, of course, escorted by the disciples, and the Buddha pointed to the rice seedling. This you will find the explanation of the painting will be greatly what you find in the Rice Seedling Sutra. And if you look at this book, there is one section, a sutra is actually this is a compendium. This is not like one solid book. This is a compilation of many important texts from the sutras and from the great Indian masters and the Tibetan masters. This is a beautiful compilation. So many of the important sutras included here, short sutras. So if you can check, if somebody can check, in the table of contents, Rice Seedling Sutra. Rice Seedling Sutra, if you can check in the table of contents. Where is it? Page number. Vinay. Rice Seedling Sutra. Do you see that? Salistamba Sutra. Rice Seedling Sutra or Salistamba Sutra. Page 63. Okay. Page 63. So the title has it, The Noble Mahayana Sutra, Rice Seedling. The title has it, Noble Mahayana Sutra, Rice Seedling. Page 63. Okay, this is a great detailed explanation of the Wheel of Life. The main content matters of Wheel of Life you'll see explained in this. This is a sutra, Noble Mahayana Sutra, the Rice Seedling. Okay, so in the sutra, now I'm not going to read the sutra, I'm going to quickly explain the background and then we'll go through the meaning directly. In the sutra, you see that the Buddha was, one morning, the Buddha was passing by a rice field and the Buddha pointed to the rice seedling and said that the monks, whosoever sees dependent origination will see the Dharma. Whosoever sees the Dharma will see the Buddha. Let me say this. Whosoever sees dependent origination will see the Dharma. Whosoever sees the Dharma will see the Buddha. One. Number two, because this exists, that exists. Because this is produced, that is produced. Number two, because of ignorance, the volition is created, because of which the consciousness is created, because of which name and form is created, because of which the senses are created, because of which the contact, the feeling, grasping, the attachment, grasping, becoming, birth, aging, death, and bewilderment, confusion, all these things arise. Next, when the ignorance ceases, the volition ceases, because of which the consciousness ceases, so 12 links will cease, the miseries will cease. This is what the Buddha taught. So here, then in this sutra, the Sarasama Sutra, what happened was that the Buddha presided over, and then the Maitreya was also there, and Shariputra just exchanged courtesy with Maitreya and told Maitreya that this morning when the Buddha was passing by the rice seedling, the Buddha stopped and said that whosoever sees dependent origination will see the Dharma, whosoever sees the Dharma will see the Buddha. So what does it mean by dependent origination? What does it mean by Dharma? What does it mean by the Buddha? He asked these questions to Maitreya, and Maitreya in detail explained these. And then further, the Buddha taught, because this exists, that exists, because this is produced, that is produced. What does it mean by that? And further, Buddha taught that ignorance gives rise to the volition gives rise to the consciousness gives rise to a name and form and so forth. So what is that dependent origination? So all these were detailed, in detail asked by Shariputra to the Maitreya. So the response, so what we have here in the Wheel of Life is what you find explained in the Rice Seedling Sutra. Okay, now with this is the background. In the first place, we need to, of course, understand this. Whoever sees dependent origination will see the Dharma. So that meaning is dependent origination. There are three levels of dependent origination, which we discussed earlier. If you remember, three levels of dependent origination. Anyone who remembers the three levels of dependent origination? Anyone? Yes. Dependent origination of the results depends on causes, number one. Number two, Okay, tens Penzola. Dependent origination of the wholes, dependence on the parts. Dependent origination of dependence on mere mental designation. Very good. Okay, so particularly here, whosoever sees dependent origination will see the dharma. So there, the Buddha discusses primarily the first and the third. The first is related to the 12 links. So here in the painting, what we see in the painting, the painting the outermost circle, painting 238, page number 238. Page number 238, outermost circle. So the wheel, the demon is holding the wheel, and the outermost circle, how many segments are there? 12. There are 12 segments. These are known as 12 links of dependent origination. And so what the Buddha taught, whosoever sees dependent origination will see the Dhamma. So say dependent origination, on the one side, the 12 links of dependent origination, the cause and effect. Cause effect dependent origination or causal dependent origination. So that is explained. When you understand this, then you will see how samsara operates and how samsara can be undone. Because once you know the process by which samsara operates, you will also know how to undo the samsara. So that is one. Then number two is to undo the first link. The first link is ignorance. To undo the first link, you have to understand the third level of dependent origination. The first link, which is ignorance. To know that, we have to know the first level of dependent origination. So in other words, we have to know these three levels of dependent origination. Whosoever understands dependent origination will see the dharma. Dharma here is the realizations. And you understand dependent origination, and then you gain the realizations. And once you gain the realizations, then with the realizations, you improve further, and eventually you will attain Buddhahood. Whosoever sees the dharma will see the Buddha. Okay, so now from what we have discussed earlier, it'll become easy for us. If you remember the verse by Arinigarjuna, you remember this verse? The verse, ceasing of karma's afflictions is nirvana. Anyone who has this on your fingertips? Dojila? No? Okay. Joshua? Arise from conceptualization of inappropriate attention, which in turn arises from the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance, and the elaboration ceases through the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, so what did we learn? And of course, I can't expect that you to remember everything, but of course, if you made notes, then that would be helpful for us to revisit those, and that'll be very helpful. Of course, within just short span of time, so much information given to you, we can't expect you to remember everything. Okay, 5 points. Remember, karma's afflictions, ceasing karma's afflictions is nirvana. Observe, nirvana is samsara. This is a resultant state, number one. So we're talking about the 5 points. And the immediate cause of samsara? Contaminated karmas. Was the immediate cause of contaminated karmas? Afflictions. Was the immediate cause of afflictions? Inappropriate attention. Was the immediate cause of inappropriate attention? Self-grasping ignorance. We need to remember these 5 points. Now, these 5 points, the first one is the miseries, the resultant state, suffering, resultant state. Remaining 4 are the causal states. Remaining 4, we can club them into 2. There are 4, but we can put them onto 2. That is, the first one is contaminated karmas, and the remaining 3 we put in the form of category of the affliction. So, contaminated karmas and afflictions. So we see that miseries as a result is the result of contaminated karmas and afflictions too. Now, if you go to the, say, how many circles are there? Which the wheel the demon is holding, how many circles are there? There are four circles. There are four circles. Okay, tell me, what is the innermost circle? What do you see in the innermost circle? Anyone? You see three creatures there. Three animals are there. Three creatures are there. Okay, so what we said is that all the miseries, the cause of the miseries, they are the afflictions. Afflictions. And these three symbolize the afflictions. Afflictions. And afflictions, the definition of affliction is a mental factor, presence of which disturbs your mind. Let me repeat it. What is affliction? Affliction is a mental factor, the presence of which disturbs your mind. This is affliction. In Tibet, you know, affliction. And the affliction, all the affliction, there are trillions and trillions of afflictions, and these afflictions, all afflictions can be broadly grouped into three families. One is affliction is, in other words, affliction is involuntary pull and push of the emotions. Involuntary pull and push. So involuntary pull and push is of involuntariness of your mind, is of three categories. One is involuntary pull, that is attachment. Next is involuntary push, that is aversion. And then when the feeling is neutral, then the ignorance, that is the involuntary loss of the perception, loss of the recognition, that is the ignorance. So we have three, on the attachment, aversion, and ignorance. In other words, that we have feelings, and based on the feelings, we talked about the feelings of the five ever-present mental factors. We talked about the feelings. What are they? Contact, attention, discrimination, feeling. So this feeling gives rise to this feeling, with the feeling, then the intention, embrace or push. So when the feeling, given that the feelings of three kinds, pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, and neutral feelings. When it's a pleasant feeling, then involuntary push happens when you don't realize emptiness. Involuntary push happens. This is attachment. With the unpleasant feeling, with the pleasant feeling, what happens? Involuntary pull happens. That is attachment. With the unpleasant feeling, what happens? Involuntary push happens. This is aversion. When the neutral feelings, ignorance persists. Ignorance persists. So therefore we see that the afflictions of three categories, where depending on the three feelings, the states happen. It's not that all afflictions are either attachment, aversion, and ignorance, but they fall under these three families. Okay, so we say the word tiger is the cat family. It's not a cat. Tiger is a cat or not? Tiger is not a cat. It's a cat family. It falls in the cat family. Okay, so these three creatures in the center depicts the afflictions, which are the cause of and of these three, the pig symbolizes ignorance, and the snake symbolizes aversion, and the bird symbolizes attachment. And the pig, so how is it depicted? That the snake and the bird comes out of the pig, which means that ignorance is the root. From the ignorance, the rest of the afflictions arise. This is how it is depicted. And there is another way of depiction also. Both are correct. Another way of depiction is where the three animals, the tail comes from the mouth of the other element. It's like a circular. This is also correct, indicating that the three afflictions, attachment, aversion, ignorance, they are like circular. Attachment gives rise to aversion gives rise to ignorance, Ignorance gives rise to again aversion. Aversion gives us attachment like this. It's just a circular among these three. This is one way of depiction. Both are correct. What do you see in the second circle? What do you see in the second circle? Anyone? Sonamla, what do you see? Okay, the second circle, what most evident thing is that the second circle is split into two halves, white and black. So second circle depicts the karma, white karmas, black karmas, meaning white karma depicting the virtuous karmas and the black karma depicting the non-virtuous karmas. And the karma, keep in mind that the karma within this wheel, the afflictions, karmas, and all should be seen as the contaminated. So the karma within, whatever, even the white also is contaminated. Contaminated karmas is of two kinds. Virtuous contaminated karmas and the non-virtuous karmas. Non-virtuous karmas are of course contaminated. Even the virtuous can be contaminated. So the one indicated here is the virtuous contaminated karmas. Okay. So these two karmas. Then we see that in the section on the black, we see one animal, the hell being, hungry ghost being. So with the negative karmas, the results will be that one will take birth in the three lower realms: animal realm, hungry ghost realm, and hell realm. Whereas the positive, contaminated, virtuous karmas will take us birth in the three favorable or the higher realms, which is humans, asuras, and the devas. Okay, this is the karmas. Now, what do you see in the third? What do you see in the third? The third, how many segments are there? 6 segments are there. So either 6 or 5. So the say, ideally speaking, is 5, but it can also be split into 6. Why? Say the lower three are the okay. Let me first put it like this: two innermost circle and the second circle. These two are the afflictions and the contaminant karmas, two causal states. These causal states will give rise to the result. The third circle is where the results are experienced. Third circle is where the results are experienced. That is the resultant state. And resultant state, we see that there are the 6 realms. So we oftentimes we talk about the 6 realms, or we also talk about the 5 realms. So if you say 6 realms, then the three lower realms and if you talk about the 6 realms, 3 lower realms and the 3 high realms. That's 6 realms. And if you say 5 realms, then of the 3 high realms, what are 3 high realms? Human realm, asuras, and the devas. So devas and asuras you combine together because the asuras are also devas. Asura are also devas. Why the asuras are classified as different from the devas? For the reason that the asuras, they are little identified as untamed devas, meaning that sometimes when in schools also, when somebody is a little naughty, we say that the teachers may say you are even not even human being, right? You are a human being, but they say that you are not even a human being. Okay, so therefore the thing is that because that within the deva category, asuras, it is said that asuras, they are exceptionally intelligent. Let me repeat it. Asuras are exceptionally intelligent. At the same time, asuras, within the human realm, there's wars happening. Likewise, asuras always wage wars against the devas. And sometimes the devas, they win the war. Sometimes the asuras win the war. And one time, the devas, let's say the Indra, the king of the devas, Indra, what he did, one day when a war was happening, Indra was on the verge to lose the war against the Asuras. And Indra approached the Buddha and requested Buddha to help Indra. That there's a war, please help me and help the gods. So what the Buddha did was that Buddha also told Indra that once upon a time, many eons ago, I was also born as an Indra. Buddha said that many eons ago, I was also born as an Indra. And again, and the Asuras, they continued to wage wars against me. And the Buddha, as an Indra that time, he approached the Buddha existing then. And that Buddha gave him, gave him a mantra to be printed on the cloth and to be hanged in the somewhere outside, to be hung outside. And so now you look at the prayer flags. The story behind the prayer flags coming to being is from the Buddha's anecdote. Indra requesting Buddha to help, and the Buddha said that Buddha, when I took birth as Indra, and that Buddha gave me this mantra, and he asked me to put it outside, hang it outside, and then the war would be stopped on its own. So I did it, and it helped. So you do the same thing. So the Buddha gave this mantra to the Indra. So this tradition came into being through that, the prayer flags in the Buddhist communities. Okay. So this is where we're talking about Asuras. Asuras are one who they're very intelligent. Number two, that they have this little bit of element of the arrogance. No, not arrogance, jealousy. Jealousy is quite a big element of the Asuras. And the reason, given that, I see that reason very trivial. But it says that if you look at this to the extreme, the third circle, right above the animal, the lower three realms, the right side is the animal, and the left side is the hungry ghost realm, and the bottommost is the hell realm. You see that? Okay, let me say this. The third circle split into half. The lower half go to the right. What do you see? Animals. To the right, to the left, hungry ghosts. At the bottom, hell beings being boiled in the cauldrons and so forth. Okay, these are three lower realms. Now go up the circle, upper half circle, to the what is that? Okay. To the left. To the left is human realm. To the left is the human realm, and then to the top is the god realm, and to the right is the demigod. So actually, okay, yes, this is demigod. Yes, okay, it's creatively done. You see that if you the demigod, you see a tree. You see a tree, and somebody's trying to chop it, right? Okay, so the story, the legend has it that the wish fulfilling tree which bears lots of the extremely the delicious fruits, wish fulfilling tree, the root is in demigods Asuras realm, and the fruits are born in the Deva realm. So they're very unhappy. They're very unhappy. I don't know whether this is actually demos that don't cut, but the painter, he was meeting it. The demigod's trying to cut it. Okay, so you see that up there, at the top of the tree, you see the wars happening. There's a demigod and the god. Okay, these are the six realms. So here, there's no depiction of the form and the formless realm. It's only with respect to the desire realm, and that too, the human. With respect to what we are doing in this, we as humans, and then this painting should be adaptable to, wherever realm one takes birth, should be adaptable to that. So this overall picture is given here. This is the, okay, what is the innermost cycle of afflictions? Second cycle, karma. So these two are the causes of the miseries, causes of samsara. And the result, these causes, and what is the result? The miseries. Miseries are depicted where? In the third circle. Okay, now the question is, how is it that the first circle gives rise to the second cycle gives rise to the third circle? How? Causal dependent notions. Causally, how they connected. Afflictions are the main. They give rise to the karmas. Karmas give rise to the miseries. So what is that causal connection? The more detailed explanation of the cause-effect relationship between these three things, afflictions, contract karmas, and miseries, is given in the last circle. Last circle, you see the 12 segments. These 12 segments are known as 12 links of dependent origination. Okay, let's quickly go there. Okay, let's start from the top. We're going through the last circle, and you go to the top, closer to the demon's mouth. Demon's mouth, top right. What do you see? Top right. Okay, what do you see? Top right. Yes, a blind man. You see a blind man which symbolizes ignorance. This is the first, the ignorance. So everything starts from the ignorance. Okay, now we go clockwise, and I just what do you see in the second next to the blind man? Huh? A potter. Yes. You see a potter. You see that okay, let's say that there are many pots. There are many pots with varying sizes, varying colors, varying textures. And who decides? Who decides the shapes, the colors? Okay, Sudip Daji, do you see the painting? Okay, so what I may suggest is that okay, the Dangshu Dan, what is that? Your name? Dangshu. Dangshu, maybe you can sit there and help her, help Sudipta. Okay, good. Okay, now the first Diptang should just the point to the first one, or the person. Diptang should, the best thing is, instead of pointing to your book, pointing to her book, so that she'll get a feeling that, okay, I am learning something. Diptangshu, don't go to and fro, go to her book only. From your note, okay. Okay, good. So the first one is the blind man, symbolic of ignorance as the root of all the problems. Then from there we go clockwise. And be careful, I may jump from here there. So you have to know where I'm jumping. You getting it? Okay. Number one is ignorance. Number two, what you see, Srindramala said that we see a potter there. And tell me, all these pots, the varying sizes, the colors, and so forth, who decides? Ashiji? Who decides the shapes and the colors and so forth of the pots? Potter decides, yes. So the potter symbolizes our karma, what our next life is, whether we're going to take birth as there's healthy, not healthy, or whatever. Say the whatever, it'll be decided by your karma. Because, see, within human beings, we see that there are different kinds of human beings, the animals, hungry ghosts, there are so many kinds. They're all, these different versions are decided by the karma. So the potter symbolizes the karma. Number two. So when the Buddha taught that the ignorance gives rise to the volition, volition here means the karma. Volition means the karma. Volition meaning your intention. Intention, and intention is one which makes the karma happen, which is the karma. Intention is the karma. Okay, now what do you see the Sudeshana, what do you see in the third? Huh? A tree, yes. Okay, I just sincerely, what do you see on the third? So Sudeshana saw a tree. Not clear. Okay, maybe it's the old book. Okay. So now let's say, okay, the kukil, monkey, monkey. Okay. So the number three is the monkey. Monkey jumping from one tree to another tree. Monkey jumping from one tree to another tree. And the two trees, so here you only see one tree. Last time I told our staff to modify this because of paintings they are, later on just somebody painted, copied, then so I asked the not the painter, the IT staff many years ago before Srinath joined, to make two trees and the monkey jumping from one tree to the other. Two trees symbolize the two bodies, body of this life and the body of the next life, and the monkey symbolizing your consciousness, jumping from living the first body and jumping to the next body, living, dying, one life, you die, you separate from the body, and then you connect to the next body of the next life. So monkey jumping from one tree to the next tree, that monkey is the key. The monkey is the main thing. Monkey is the consciousness. Number three is consciousness. Okay, now let's go to number 8. From number 3, I jump to number 8. What is number 8? What is your number 8? Okay, the Priyanka, what do you see? Number 8? Uh, Louder? Pot. Pot is there. And what's the man doing? Man is holding a cup of wine. Okay, you did not see the wine. A cup, yeah. So it's a cup of wine. It's a cup of wine. So in other words, this is the drunkard. Somebody who's so addicted to alcohol. Okay. Okay. So this is number 8. Now what happens is that, okay, Diptangshu, while you explain, you also listen to me. Okay. Because I can see that you're fully engrossed, which means you're not hearing what I'm saying. You can hear. That's amazing. Okay. Okay. So I jumped from number 8. Why? First, I'm not going to explain why. First, I'm going to explain the causal connection. Let's say that the how many you see that things are all like dream? We don't see things, which means that we see things as object real. Which sense? We see things object real. That is the ignorance. With this in mind, then we come to the Buddhapada. You getting it? We come to Buddhapada. That is the ignorance. With the ignorance, they come to Buddhapada. There's action. Volition, number 2. With the volition, then you come here, you attend the class, and then so you learn something, you admire, wow, emptiness is amazing, we have to practice this. So this is virtue. Virtue is karma. That is a virtuous karma. That virtuous karma, once you finish the class, finish retreat, then you go back home. You back home, again you do whatever you're normally doing. Maybe your mind becomes more neutral. So what happens to this positive karma? They, this positive karma are there within your mind, with your consciousness. It is there. It is not destroyed. Although your mind has now become neutral, but the positive karma, virtuous karma that we generated while you are here, they are not destroyed. They go into the form of a seed. In the form of seed. What is meant by seed? For example, no one is angry at the moment. But when you leave, somebody says, stop it, then anger blasts. So this anger, although anger is not within us now, but anger is in the form of a seed. So that is known as the, say, when we leave this place, then you go to do your normal chores, your mind becomes neutral. But what about the virtuous mind? They're not destroyed, they're in the form of a seed. So if this karma, let's say this karma is to make us take birth in say this virtuous karma will take birth, make you take birth as a great scholar in the future lives. But it so happens that how many such karmas do we accumulate? The enormous karmas we accumulate, enormous karmas. So of the enormous karmas, only one karma that, okay, by the way, for your information, karmas, there are many ways of classifying the karmas. One is the projecting karmas and the ripening karmas. Projecting and the ripening. Projecting karmas meaning, say when you die, of the millions, trillions of projecting karma that you have, only one will be activated. Only one will be activated. Projecting karma operates only once. Only one at a time. So whereas the ripening karmas, they operate millions together. Projecting karma operates only one at a time. When we are on the verge to die, then whichever projecting karma is most powerful and most serviceable, that will become activated and that will germinate. That will give rise to the seed. For example, say when we die, for example, say let's say Carlton Sherab, she's a Britisher. He's Britisher, not she. He's a Britisher. And they say when he dies, if he's to take birth as Tibetan or as Indian or Japanese. Okay. Not Deva. That was not good. Deva, you'll forget the Dharma. Okay. So this is Japanese. Japanese, there, they say, although he has so many karmas, some to project him to take birth in the devil realm, some to take birth in America, some to take birth in whatever. And of these, the one karma, the most powerful karma or the suitable karma, meaning karma which is most powerful at that point, projecting karma. That is to take birth as a Japanese. That gets activated, he will take birth as a Japanese. We're getting, there is only one karma, projecting karma, one at a time. Whereas the ripening karmas can manifest millions of times simultaneously. For example, at the moment, say while we take birth here, while we are here in Buddhapada, say how many you felt sometimes, how you felt, wow, it's a very beautiful place, presents beautiful place. There's a joy. This is the ripening of a virtuous karma. There is a ripening virtuous karma. And sometimes, okay, it's a little sweaty, presents little sweaty, unpleasant feeling. And light off, and then warm and manifest, right? That is ripening of the negative karma. So say the so that way, and the food is so good. The food is very healthy. Mind feels pleasant. It's a positive karma. And when you're about to eat the food, maybe a cat jumps over, take the food away. You feel unhappy. Negative karma ripen. So millions of such negative karmas ripen, right? Okay, and so these positive, not only negative, positive karma, negative karma together can ripen together. Okay, so these are the ripening karmas, not the projecting karmas. Projecting karma operates only one at a time. Only one at a time. Okay, so here the karma that is described here is the projecting karma, not the ripening karma. So with this, what we said is that, let's say that you have done so many karmas, negative karmas, positive karmas. For example, say you have unnecessarily shouted to the mother. How many shouted to the mother once in a while? Raise hands. Sonam. Okay, we shouted mother unnecessarily. We came some negative karma. Angela. Yes, no. No, you will not do that. I know. Huh? Never. Never. Okay, no, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Okay. So, say unnecessarily shouting mother, show anger, unnecessarily accumulate so much negative karma and do something good to your mother. Very small thing. It simply multiplies your virtues. It's amazing. Let's not forget this. So, and then say negative karmas were there. All of us, we have negative karmas accumulated. And coming here, we attend this, and you learn a lot. Wow, this is amazing. Buddha taught this, Aranagarjuna taught this, His Holiness said this. This amazing. Deep admiration comes. These are positive karmas. So of these, we say that of the millions others karmas, say this positive karma has the capacity to project you to take birth as a human, as a brilliant scholar and a meditator, practitioner, let's say. But some other karmas interrupt. Some other karmas happen to be more powerful and interrupts that. So which means that your karma is not destroyed. So you use this karma next time, let's say you take birth somewhere else. And this karma is not destroyed. This karma you carry, your mind carries it like the monkey. From one tree, it jumps to the next tree, meaning that your mind carrying this positive karma of what virtuous karma that you did here. So this carry in the mind, and this mind moves from one body to the next body, one birth to the next birth, and maybe next life. That karma may prove to be the most powerful one, that it will project. It serves as the projector to project you in a place where you are with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, whether you are with amongst the brilliant scholars. You also become a brilliant scholar where what you will learn is activated. These things can happen. So if that is not activated closer to his death, then this will not be destroyed. It will be carried, passed from one life to the next life. Who carries that? So what Dorji asked last time. Who carries that imprint? Your consciousness carries that. And your consciousness, so it is number 3. The karma is the number 2, the potter. And that karma, if not, so that is carried by the consciousness. Now what happens is, in case, if this karma is to be activated before you die, then we go to number 8. What is number 8? Hey Priyanka, what is number 8? Alcoholic grabbing at the alcohol with attachment. You're getting it? Number 8 is known as craving or attachment. Number 8. Okay, did you see the number 8? Huh? David, do you see number 8? The painting? No, the book has. Oh, this is better. Yes, yes. And the form you can enlarge it. Yes, you're right. Okay. So do you see the one in the blue cloth? Yes, that is the number 8. So what happens is that now the seed that you have planted in your mind, the virtuous seed that you've planted, likewise non-virtuous seed also can become planted. I'm being very positive. I'm not being negative. So we can also think of the negative karmas. We have millions of negative karmas. You're getting it? We should be very careful. So I'm talking about positively. I'm talking about leaving this in a positive note. Positive karmas that have accumulated. So that this positive karma, if that is to be activated before you die, that is to decide your next life, then this positive karma is like a seed. So apple seed, if you keep it on the table, when will it ripen? It will never ripen on its own. You have to plant it. You have to put water. So number 8 is the craving. And number 9, what is number 9? What do you see? Okay. Okay, Sensila, what do you see? Number 9? Yes, yes, that's true. Jabi, what do you see? Jabi, I'm missing something different. Same, what do you see? Wonderful. So number 9 is known as grasping. Number 8 is known as craving. These two go together. Number 8, 9, 10. These three will go together. Number 8 is craving. Number 9 is grasping. Okay. Say number 9 is grasping, meaning that so I told, say, a monkey. And did you see the monkeys, how they, keep grasping? You give something, you give one apple, he'll keep it. One gives second apple, he'll keep it. Third apple, what will he do? He'll keep the two and again, right? Keep. So this grasping, eating one and grabbing the hand to get the next. So this is excessive craving. Number 9 is grasping, which is known as excessive craving. This is number 9, grasping. So number 8 is the craving, and the craving increases. Craving increases to the extent of grasping. That is number 9. The craving, excessive craving is number 9. So what happens is that number 8 and number 9, these two are like the water. These two, like the craving and the grasping, these two are like the water to germinate the seed of the karma that you have planted in your mind. This seed must be germinated by the water of the craving, and because the craving what? Craving to take rebirth. Craving to take rebirth. Craving and grasping to take rebirth. So these two will germinate the seed of the positive karma, negative karma, whatever that you planted in your mind. That will be germinated. Okay, now if you go to the next, number 10. Number 10, Shrikant, what do you see? Number 10. Okay, the Shrikant, which edition you are using? Which book? No, the painting is clear or not clear? Show that to me. Pretty clear. No, there are some paintings which are horrible. In fact, I requested the printer, our Tibet staff, to just be a little careful to make sure that this print is not just printed like any other, carelessly. So this is way better than the previous ones. The Ajahn, what is yours one? Show that to me. Look, okay. Shrikant, you have to see that. You're getting it? Then you will see the yours one is very clear. Okay. There's this old version. Okay. Now, number 10 is a pregnant woman saying that, okay, this is symbolic. It doesn't mean that this is the where you are about to die. We are about to die, and the seed of the karma, which is watered by the craving and grasping. That seed, what happens? If the apple seed you plant in the soil and keep putting water, what happens to the seed? The seed will start germinating. You're getting it? Seed will become, first it will become soft. It will become soft, and gradually then, say, even the size increases because it becomes soft, and then it is ready to germinate. So this is a mother, expanded mother, on the verge to give rise to a child. So this is not when you are in the mother's womb. This is a time when you are about to die, where your karma, which is to project you to the next life, that karma is being germinated. This is the symbolism depicted by the symbolized by this pregnant woman. Okay, number 10. What do you see in number 11? Okay, Vinay, what do you see in number 11? Okay, number 11, it may not be too clear. Actually, we need to rework in this. It's a mother giving birth, a mother delivering, giving birth to a child. Okay, mother giving birth to a child. So again, this is not when you are given birth. This is still, and this is, okay. Now, number 10, you're on the verge to die, which means that your next birth is going to be decided by your karma. That karma is all ready to project you to the next life. That karma is ready to germinate. Ready to germinate. That is represented by the pregnant, expectant mother. Then what happens? That your mind is ejected out of this body, ejected, and your mind is ejected. The karma ejects your mind from this birth. The previous karma which projected this life, this karma exhausts, and then when the karma exhausts, the body and the mind separates. That is what we call as death. And the body connects to the next birth. Next birth connects to next birth by that karma, which is ripened, which is the germinated by the water of craving and grasping. So number 11 is not that you are given birth by the mother, but you are conceived in the mother's womb. Why? Because this is just as the mother gives birth, the karma has already thrown you into the next life. And when is then the next point of your next life? When is the first point of your next life? In the mother's womb. The first moment in the mother's womb, conception in the mother's womb. So number 11, although it's depicted with the mother giving birth, this is like saying that your karma has already projected you. Mother projects you to life, to the earth. Mother gives you birth, meaning that mother projects you in this world. Likewise, that karma of the number 10 that projects you to the next life. Next life is, what is the first moment in the next life, Pringa? What is the first moment in the next life? Next life, your next life. When is the first moment of your next life? Anyone? Yes, next life. Okay, you came on the planet Earth. Maybe you are in your 20s, late 20s, or 30s, or 20s. I'm confused. Okay, let's say the last 30 years. So you in this life, when was your first time in this life? In the mother's womb. So in the mother's womb, that is the first moment of the conception in the mother's womb. That is the first. So that is the product of your previous karma, the karma projected it. Karma is depicted as the mother, and you in the first in conception, that is the mother delivering you out. In the painting, the mother is like the karma, and the child delivered, that is your mind ejected, projected to the next life. So projected to the next life, the first moment is in the mother's womb. You're getting it? So although it is depicted like this, it's for the ease of our understanding that we are projected by the karma. You're already projected. Like the mother, you project on the planet Earth. Likewise, the karma projects you to the next life. Okay. This number 11. Next, we go to number 4. What is number 4? Yes. Okay. A rower, a boat rower with 2 passengers in the boat. And the rower is not important. What is important is the 2 passengers. The 2 passengers in the boat is very important. Now, you're already, number 11, you're already conceived in mother's womb, right? The first moment of conception of mother's womb. So you got the body from your parents, and you got the mind from your Past life. Okay. So these two are the two passengers. Your body that you got from your parents, and your mind you brought from the past life. These two are the two passengers in the same boat. So when two passengers in the boat, till you reach the other shore, you cannot be separated. You will be together all the time till the end. So likewise, till our death, the body and the mind will go together. This is the indication indicated by the two passengers in the boat. You get it? Okay, that is still in the mother's womb. In the mother's womb, first moment, inception, the first moment, body from the parents and the mind from your previous life. These two meet. First meeting happens, number 11. Number 11. And then it continues. The two go in the same boat. The two passengers got into the boat. That is number 11. Got into the boat. Once you into the boat, then you continue together. That is number 4. Number 4, known as name and form. Name and form. Name and form. Name, form means your body. The body that you got from your parents, the body. And the name refers to your mind. Why? Name, actually the better translation would be the label and the form rather than name. Because the path is a very standard, now very commonly translated as name and form. So I keep it as it is, name and form. Why? Body is a form is fine, but my mind is referred to as a name because the body, you can talk about the flower, you can talk about the the table and so forth, which is visual, so easy to know. But the mind, we don't know that. We know that only through explanation. Explanation is word or what? Explanation are the labels, the words. So only through words we can understand the mind. So therefore mind is known as the labels or the name. Okay, that is number 4. Now number 4 is in the mother's womb. Your body and your mind together in the mother's womb. Okay, what is number 5? What is number 5? Odin. Yes. Okay. The house. Say something more. Oh, yes, true level. True level is the painter's creativity. And what else? No, no, this mark could not. What do you see there? uh, with windows. How many windows? Huh? 6 windows. You getting it? Okay. The true story is the creativity of the painter. What is required is the house with 6 windows. This is the main, the focus. We should not focus on don't say that there's also mountain up there, cloud there. That cloud, it doesn't matter. So the focus should be on the house with 6 windows. Now, you are in the mother's womb. Your body and mind are going together in the mother's womb. You're growing. You're growing. You reach to the point. Now is the growth. The growth in the mother's womb. Development in the mother's womb. Where you see that your senses. So if you're in a house, you want to interact with the outside world. You are locked. So, and there are 6 windows. So how will you communicate with the outside world? Through the windows. You're getting it? So likewise, we are trapped. Our mind is trapped in this body. And we have 6 windows. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and the body and the mental. So we communicate with outside visual things through the window of our eyes. We hear the sound of the fans through our ears. We smell the fragrance of the flowers through our nose, like the tactility, then the taste. So 6, and then you think about the tomorrow by your mental consciousness, but not by your senses. You think about your past, when I was little boy, little girl. It's all in mental consciousness. So we interact with the outside world through these 6 windows. These 6 windows are in the progress of growing. This is the progress of growing, still not functional. Still not functional, is growing. Six senses. Six senses, or referred to as the six sources. Six sense sources. This is still growing. Okay, this is number 5. What do you see in number 6? What do you see? A couple, just a couple. This is symbolic. This is symbolic. Say, now you have the senses. For example, you say as a child, how many have seen the pictures of the embryo? What is that? Embryo. Embryo. How many have seen the pictures of the embryo? You have seen that. So there, the eyes come out, still not functional. Ears come out, still not functional. So all the six, the five senses and the sixth mental is functional, but the six senses, they're growing, they're developing, but not functional. Now at one point, so eyes, what's the job of the eyes sense? To come in contact with the visual objects. Ears to come in contact with the sound. Nose to come in contact with the smell. The taste, the tongue, the taste, the body, the touch. So now, in the mother's womb, these senses, they grow and now grow to such extent that they are able, they start to function. The visual eye sense come in contact. So this is the couple in contact. Eye sense come in contact with the visual objects. Ear sense come in contact with the hearing sound. So this said that in the mother's womb, the child can still hear, see, smell, taste, and so forth. So now at this stage, it is functional, but it is functional in the rudimentary form, not in the full form. Rudimentary meaning, for example, sometimes when your legs become numb, then you walk, you find it very difficult to walk, and you also don't really touch it too. You don't really feel the touch. You just feel the numbness. You remember? You just feel the numbness. You feel the touch, but you don't know it's smooth, rough, cold, hot. We don't feel it too much. We just feel the touch. That is the number 6. Just the touch where the senses start to operate. Okay. Dorjila, what is next? Number 7. What do you see? Oh, one lady is there. Okay, anyone else? Okay, Ashishi, what do you see? Okay, okay, okay. Then Sharula, yes. Call a man where the arrow piercing the eyes of a person. An arrow piercing the eyes. If the arrow hits your eyes, how painful is it? Very painful. If, for example, if a dust goes in your eyes, it's extremely irritating. The feeling is so sharp, right? So now what happens is that after number 6, where the senses, they come in contact with the respective objects, just the contact. Now it's not only contact, you can actually feel. You can actually feel the sensation so sharp. So that is still in the mother's womb. Still in the mother's womb. So number 7. Number 7 is partly in the mother's womb and then partly outside. So you coming out of the mother's womb is not indicated here. So number 7 is the transition. It's partly in the mother's womb. In the mother's womb also the child, does all these things, the cakes, and so therefore is said that the mother should really be very careful when a child is as the child is growing in the mother's womb. So the child is moving actually. So there, this number 6, where the child has already developed the senses, already operating, all the 5 senses operating, and then now we are going through which phase? Hey, anyone? We are going through which phase in this 12 links? Huh? Where? Number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 6. Anyone else? Which link are we going through now? So Swam said number 6. Anyone else? Huh? Number 7. Oh, number 6. The Swam's number 7. And Google is number 7. The feeling. Anyone else? Okay, Jingmei single I say no. Jingmei I want you to sing is number 4. Anyone else? Combination of 7 and 9. In fact, 8, 9, 10 they are one package. Okay, the Vinay is saying number 7 and 8 they combined. Anyone else? Okay, how many you think you are accumulating negative karma, positive karma? Karma is where? Karma is which one? Number 2. You're getting it? We're going through number 2. Meanwhile, how many see things are object real? This is ignorance, wisdom. Ignorance, which is number? We're constantly going through number 1, number 2, and the karmas, we constantly accumulate karmas, and karmas are imprinted where? In a consciousness. Consciousness, which one? Number 3. So we have numerous number 1s arising, number 2 arising, number 3 arising, and then meanwhile the number 7, the feeling on the process. Only thing is number 4, 5, 6, they're already gone. 4, 5, 6, they are in the mother's womb. So we already come out of the mother's womb. 4, 5, 6, the mother's womb, that is out. But number 1, 2, 3, actively happening. 1, 2, 3. Which means so many cycles are already being started. So many cycles already newly started, freshly started. And then the number 7, the feelings. We continue to get the feelings, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, neutral feeling, pleasant feeling, unpleasant, neutral feeling. Based on the feelings, you accumulate karma, new karma. So, which means that if they think like this, we see that this wheel, we are creating innumerable wheels of life. Wheel is what? This wheel is, who's holding it? Who's holding the wheel? If the wheel is held by the Buddha, it's very good. Who's holding the wheel? Innumerable wheels are created, and who's holding it? The demon is holding it. Where? In his mouth. Which means as long as we are in samsara, the demon, symbolic of the impermanence of death. So we take birth in samsara, there's no escape, we have to die. That is impermanence of death. So innumerable wheels are created, and how do we get out of this wheel? This is a question. This is a serious question. And of course, some people, they ask the question, the demon has the skulls, they say the skull over his head. And my teacher, Venerable Geshe Rinpoche, he is extremely brilliant, the researcher, and he said that these skulls are all later fabricated by people, by the painters. It's not really in the standard text. Okay, so this is how we are suffering in samsara. Started by afflictions, then created contaminant karmas, then give rise to the miseries, and then how the detail of the 12 levels of dependent origination. And it's just a cycle. Cycle means there's no, if the wheel is in operation, we cannot say this is the beginning. It's just cycles like this. So if it is cycles like this, then we wait till where's the beginning. There's no beginning. There's no beginning. It just keep going. And meanwhile, we have to shed tears, sadness, sickness, aging, death, loss of near and dear. And many of us, we share the experience of the pain of losing your near and dear ones. These are all incessantly happening. So next question is there a way out? Is there a way out? Answer is, of course, yes. What's the way out? Check the root cause of the miseries. What's the root of the cause of miseries? Ignorance. How to stop the ignorance? by cultivating the wisdom. Okay, so for that, let's say, what's the way out? It means who's out of this cycle? Who's out? Oh, yes, you're right. Okay, so we are on at the moment 12. No, number 7. What is number 7? Feeling. Okay, let's do it once more. Number 1, ignorance, depicted by the blind person. Number 2, volition or karma. Number 3, consciousness. Then we jump to number 8, craving. Number 9, grasping. Number 10, becoming. Number 10 is known as becoming. Becoming meaning that your karma is germinating. It is making you to become a next birth. Becoming. Next birth is coming into being. Becoming. Number 10. Then number 11, birth. Birth meaning projection in the mother's womb. The first conception in the mother's womb. Number 11. Then we move to number 4, name and form. Number 5, sense sources. Number 6, contact. Number 7, feeling. Then we move to number 12. Feeling meaning that you already come out of the mother's womb. So now what we are going through the feeling, and in the process, then we keep aging. We keep aging, and then we have to leave the world, aging in death. Number 12, aging in death. Okay, so now and this said before we die again, say the projecting karma gets germinated by number 8, another number 8 and number 9. This will make the number 10, another cycle of number 10. And a cycle number 10 will again throw you to the next conception, number 11. And again will number 11 go to number 4, 5, 6, 7. In the process, again, ignorance, karma, the consciousness, innumerable. Again, you are about to die. Name and form, all this process. And again, the feelings, again, you're about to die. Again, the karmas. So it's just endless cycle. In the process, it's acutely painful. Just imagine that we are trapped in the Nazi camp. Just imagine that. We are trapped in the Nazi camp. How much fear. Just imagine that we are in the airplane, which is the crash just recently. Just imagine that you are there and you know that now the plane's going to crash. You know that everybody's screaming. These things happen endlessly. It's not that you feel at the moment we feel so relaxed. Okay, we in the news. One day we become the content of the news. This is, of course, and that how long it'll go like this? Endlessly. So if you don't want that, then who is out of this wheel? Who's out? The Buddha is there out. So what is the Buddha doing? Hey, tell me, what is the Buddha doing? Buddha is pointing to where? Hey, David, Buddha is pointing to? To the moon, yes. Okay. And what moon? Half moon, full moon? Full moon. Okay. The moon symbolizes the mind. The moon symbolizes the mind and the fullness of the moon. No dark element symbolizes the freedom from the metal stains. Your metal stain is removed, then you are out of the cycle. Metal stains are removed. You're full, no half, full moon. Your mind is so pure. How to make the mind pure? How to remove the metal dirt? Contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and the self-grasping. How to remove that? By the wisdom. What is that wisdom? What do you see underneath the moon, Jabi? What do you see underneath the moon? Do you see something? You don't see anything. You something there. That something is replicated underneath the wheel. What you see underneath the wheel? The two verses are there. Two verses are there. And these two verses are symbolic. of the symbolic of the path to remove the mental dirt, path to attain the state of purification, state of cessation. Okay, now the same. And what is these two verses? If you look at which page, the verses 334, yes, 333 and 334. It is on both. So the two verses, they were, of course, this was done by the instruction of Buddha. It says, strive to eliminate the defilements, mental defilements, remove the strife, put effort to remove the mental defilements, enter into the teachings of the enlightened one. How to remove that? By learning, by following the teachings of the enlightened one, the one who has already freed from samsara. How do you do that? Just as an elephant in the midst of huts. What does the elephant do? If the wild elephant comes in the village made of many huts, what does the elephant destroy? All the huts. Likewise, destroy the host, the lord of death. Say, what the elephant does to the huts, you do to your series of deaths. Birth, death, birth, death, birth, death. You remove this. You bring an end to the death in samsara. How do you do that? Those with conscientiousness engaged in the dharma of pacification, meaning pacification of your unruly minds, afflictions. Abandon the cycle of birth. So, involuntary birth, we call, what is that? Pervasive conditioned suffering, one of which we said as involuntary birth. Stop the involuntary birth. Abandon the cycle of birth, which is a pervasive conditioned suffering, and bring an end to the miseries. These two are symbolic of the truth of the path leading to the cessation. Okay, now we go back to the painting. Let me quickly summarize what is being said. So, this painting is also teaching the Four Noble Truths. What are the Four Noble Truths? Priyanka, you remember? Four Noble Truths? Sonamla? No? Okay. And this is Four Noble Truths. Louder. Truth of suffering, number one. Number two. Truth of cause of suffering, number three. Truth of cessation of suffering, number four. Truth of path leading to cessation. How come that you have things so clear? I learned it. You're getting it? So we have to learn. If you learn it, we'll know as good as what the Pinzola, is doing. So it's a matter of learning. The Four Noble Truths, what are they? Truth of suffering, truth of cause of suffering, truth of cessation of suffering, truth of the path leading to the cessation. Now, to make it very easy for you to remember, the first two are the cause and effect. Number three and number four, these two are cause and effect. You're getting it? There are two sets of cause and effect. The first is truth of suffering. Number two is truth of cause of suffering. These two are the cause and effect. So that is what happens when we are in samsara. We accumulate negative karmas, we accumulate contaminant karmas, the cause, and give rise to the miseries in samsara. That is the cause and effect. Suffering, cause of suffering. Now, if you don't want to be in samsara, what should we do? We should get out of samsara. Getting out of samsara is the effect. Number three. What is number three? The truth of cessation. Cessation meaning stop. Truth of cessation suffering. Stopping the suffering. Number four is the path leading to the cessation. How to stop the cause, the path which helps to stop the suffering. The path leading to cessation. These two again are cause and effect. So we see that the truth of suffering in this wheel, in this painting, where do you see the truth of suffering? Truth of suffering is as the result depicted by the third circle. We're talking about the Four Noble Truths now. For the truth of suffering is depicted by the third circle, where the six realms are taught. That is the truth of suffering. Truth of cause of suffering, where do you find it? Carl? Where? Truth of cause of suffering, where do you find it? Innermost circle and the second innermost circle. Innermost circle and the second innermost circle. The innermost circle is afflictions, and the second circle is contaminant karma. These two are the truth of the cause of suffering. Two internal circles are the truth of cause of suffering. Okay, now we have the truth of the suffering, truth of the cause of suffering done. Now where is the truth of the cessation of suffering? The moon. Moon is the truth of cessation of suffering, where the ignorance stops. Where the mind becomes like moon, like the mind becomes full, where no stains are left. That is when the suffering stops. That is, the full moon depicts the truth of the cessation of suffering. And the two verses depict a path leading to the cessation of suffering. Two verses depict the path leading to the cessation of suffering. Okay, now, so why we have the teaching on the 12 links of development origination, teaching on the Four Noble Truths, and then you also see that teaching of the three jewels, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangam Sharanam Gacchami, which means I go for refuge in the Buddha, I go for refuge in the teachings, or Dharma, I go for refuge in the Sangha. The first, I go for refuge in Dharma. No, what is the first one? I go for refuge in the Buddha. Where is the Buddha? The top right. I go for refuge in the Dharma. The Dharma, the moon, and the two verses. The real Dharma. If somebody asks you, tell me, technically speaking, what is the meaning of the Dharma? In the Buddhist context, Dharma means Dharma is the protector. Your protector. The Buddha is like the doctor. Doctor can prescribe the medicines. Doctor cannot remove your miseries. Doctor prescribe the medicines. And the medicines you have to take. So what is the medicine that you are taking? Is the moon and the two verses. The moon is the freedom from the mental defilements, cessation of suffering. And the two verses, the path leading to cessation, the wisdom. So that is the Dharma. The real Dharma is the truth of cessation suffering and truth of path leading to cessation. When you have your mind removed from the ignorance, that is the real liberation, that is real protection. So this real protection, the Buddha helps us to create the protection within us. The real protection is your own Dharma. What is that Dharma? When the mental defilements are removed, and by the wisdom. The wisdom depicted by the two verses, and the moon depicting the purity of your mind. So these two are the real Dharma. Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami. And finally, Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. In order to go in this direction, we require the support of the community. We require support of the like-minded people who are following the same path. Otherwise, if you go with some other people, you can easily go into the wrong direction. So therefore, we go with this Sangha. Sangha means somebody who's following this path. So, and the Buddha depicts the Sangha also, because Buddha is the best of the Sangha, the most perfect Sangha. So, the teaching on the three jewels, teaching on the Four Noble Truths, teaching the 12 links of dependent origination, these are all intact here. Okay, we stop here. And this evening also we have the teaching not an introductory course, and so those of you who are interested, feel free to join us in. Although you may not be in the class, you may not be enrolled in this course. Don't worry, feel free to join us. Okay, is that 6 o'clock here? Okay, we'll stop here. And tomorrow morning, the two sessions. First session we'll do the four essentials to establish emptiness, and the second session we'll do the soul offering, and then this end. And then after this, at like 3, I will go to give a talk in the Tibetan community. Those interested, you can come with us, but I think maybe Jime Wanchula can You give your name to Jima Wanchula so that he will organize the transportation for us. And Jima Wanchula meaning Vigraji. And then he will organize the transportation for us. And yes, and then Tudin Samala, I requested Tudin Samala if he can, if there are some of you interested, in what is the four commitments of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. You want to know about what it is about. So Tudin Samala will translate because the talk is going to be in Tibetan. And Tudin Samala will translate into English. Those interested, you just give it to Tudin Samala come to know from the Jimmy Onjula, the as to who are the ones who need English translation. Okay, we do the end declaration prayer, page 51 or 52. Page 52. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine of scripture and insight. May in all life, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, purview, and the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the shield-bearing Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom eyes blinded by ignorance. Okay, the handout of the praise to Buddha Shakyamuni. Handout. Tabge tuje shage rezo chon shenge metum dege bonjom serge lumbo tabo jebe gu shaye gebo kela cha se lo o mone mone Mahamona Yeswa Om Mune Mune Mahamona Yeswa Tabge tuje shage rezo chon shenge meto dege bonjomba serge lumbo tabo jebe gu shaye yebo kela cha se lo o mone mone Mahamona Yeswa Om Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswa Tabge tuje shage rezo chon shenge meto dege bonjomba serge numbo tabo jebe gu shaye gebo kela 차셀로 오모니 모니 마하모나예 스와하 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 오모니 모니 마하모나예 스와하. Okay, three prestations together.